Hi everyone, Renegade 67 here with part 20 of Let's Play Phoenix Wright Strangers for All Keys 4 Blind. Last time I got kind of stuck, but now I have kind of an idea of what to do. I've got it down to a couple things that it could be. I think it's this statement I have to present to point to. I think it's either the crime photo or Juwan's autopsy report. And here's why. With Juwan's autopsy report, it says strangled with a scarf and then stabbed with a knife. And it says the button was torn off of Juwan during his fight with Matt. But, if he was strangled with the scarf first, then that means, when he was stabbed with the whole blood thing, I think I was trying, that's why I presented the, Hakama thing, what's it called? The button. Basically, the blood came on. So if the blood is on there, then I'm assuming that means the knife went in before the button came off. Which means... I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just going to try and present it, and maybe the case will explain it for me if I'm right. I'll charge you on to Top's report first. Objection! Thank you, Phoenix. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states the cause of death was strangulation? That's probably a real word, but still funny because I've never actually seen it used before. Strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed. That's what I was trying to say, but I was having a hard time saying it, so thanks, game, for explaining it a little better. Exactly. Which means it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off with the victim's already dead body. Dun dun dun! Sounds like a setup if you ask me. Order, order, what? Okay. What is the meaning of this, Wright? So if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died. What does that change? Quite a bit. Changes your story. Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during this fight. The murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? Have a memento of the crime? Destroy evidence? To pin the crime on God. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. Phoenix logic. Don't mix. Just saying. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Ungod. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Ungard was set up. By the real killer, of course. Maybe. Maybe. Still not too sure about that. Have my doubts. And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Can I say the killer yet? Can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. person who planned to frame Mr. Ungard is... Well, I don't see any way around this other than saying Adrian Andrews. Boom, headshot. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Corda's killer. Maybe. What? I choose you. It's like Pokemon. Order, 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 Mr. Wright. That is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence to support your charge? Any evidence? Don't say it. All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Oh, he didn't say what his name. Okay. Well, how preposterous! You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he'd already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, naturally. The knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. The only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. That's right. Now you're regretting setting up, aren't you? Then, what about the button that was found in Matsukama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he'd already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. Or both. At the same time. Just saying. However, if Mr. Ungard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. That's right. The only person who could have put this button in Mr. Ungard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews. Uh-huh. I see. What of the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. It does seem like she did it, but I'm not so sure just yet. No, Ooh, she looks scared. Miss Andrews' fingers were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. So you proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. Look, that's right. Ooh. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. And then just purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Ugh! And to top it all off, there's this photo. Ooh, what about the photo, Phoenix? Photo of the killer as they exit the scene of the crime. Yes, indeed. No reasonable person on Earth can believe the Nickel Samurai is Mr. Ungard. This Nickel Samurai. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. That's right. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please, stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? Question mark? Got her this time. Not this E, definitely not. There's definitely a second day. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. Ooh, plead the fifth? What was that? There's a law. Yes, there is. It's one of the few laws I know about. Plead the fifth. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. But that means you have to admit that something would incriminate you. You are all absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can damage themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Angard's room, June Andrews. Yes? And what's with that voice, but okay. Alright then. Question mark? Could that have been it? Really? Planted this idea into her head? Really now? Interesting. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things looked bad. Ooh. Well, looks like, too bad she's not around right now, but did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Got a not guilty verdict. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Probably something else. What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What? What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? Enlighten us. I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer has proven up to this point is meaningless. All circumstantial, damn it. Everything you've proven is circumstantial, yeah. I'm pretty smart. Phoenix is pretty circumstantial, let's be honest. He doesn't end up pulling anything decisive until like the last second. Every case practically. Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definite proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Miss Corda. Wait, Corda? Yeah, Corda. For a second I thought Matt died. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corda? Of course she's gonna say no. I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. Ooh. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it'll be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't even know what crimes I would be guilty of due to my silence. Well, true, but no. Damn it. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. Darn it, Franziska, you're good. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Refuse to testify. This theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. Let me guess, second day? You can't call a verdict now. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do. Declare a recess? Request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. As tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? Don't have a tomorrow! If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then don't rush it, Phoenix. If you rush it, you can screw up. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. If you have a declared verdict today, it's probably gonna be guilty, just saying. Which would be bad. The trial. Please continue the trial. Oh god, Phoenix, you're grasping at some pretty big straws here. What are you sweating for? You should have told Edgeworth. The client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. What? If I don't get the verdict... Maya, what are you saying? Don't say it out loud. Does Edgeworth get the message? Well, it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Is Edgeworth gonna come up with something? Maybe he's like, did he say Maya? Maybe he'll come up with a super plan that Phoenix is too dumb to think of. Now then, this court is... Ooh, yes, Edgeworth, save our asses. It is not possible for this trial to continue. Not impossible. Oh, I said not possible for saying it. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there's one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? Can't help but think how unnatural that is. Well, yeah, I think that's unnatural too. Why didn't you bring up earlier? Usually when one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. Well, we kind of tried to say that earlier, but okay. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to the effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Ooh. What we find out of this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. Good going, Edgeworth. Phoenix, you're stupid. Think of stuff like that more often. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. I can. He's awesome. He's just along for the ride. Court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. Let's do it, Andrews. Round something. Yeah. When I found the body. That glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. Really. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. Met Juan. He was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Huh, really? Saw him sitting like that, and the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Oh, sure. I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. I realized that he was dead. That's when I knocked the flower. Interesting indeed. You poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? Because she made it up on the spot. Oh, yeah, sure. Phoenix, please be careful here. You can't find anything wrong with this testimony. There's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. When I found the body. The question is, how much does he think he knows about Maya now? Anyways, that glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking. Saw him sitting like that, I thought he was dead, didn't cross my mind. Sure. I believe you. This is what it all comes down to. This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now's our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time? She let her guard down. Hmm. I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to find. He was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. Hmm. You know, guys, mainly because of my health, I'm gonna save this for next time. I'll probably just end up pressing a bunch. But you know what? Look at my health, man. I have to press a bunch. I gotta be safe. Better safe than dead. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Let's play things right. Experience for all. Kiss goodbye. Until then, don't know your phrase and. Whew! Yeah, whew, indeed. Bye.